What city are you bringing the expansion to?
Obvious. We gotta bring a team to Seattle. Like Seattle's got to have a team like that. That is such a market that's not been taken advantage of. The people there just love their Sonics. To bring the Sonics back to Seattle would be amazing. And I think they be the type of fan base that would be patient with a rebuilding process. And I wouldn't necessarily have to draft a Russell Westbrook to get people into seats.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. I think I'm gonna go for the standard one, the team the city that's always the big one whenever we're talking expansions in any league or any sport, and just say we're gonna take a team out to Vegas. It's gonna
It's gonna
it's gonna
happen.
happen. It's gonna be the
Yeah,
way.
I
Most
believe
the
it.
most
It's probably
likely
gonna
way,
happen. Um, we probably throw the T Wolves and the Pelicans out east then, and that would.
Possibly.
I mean, I think the T Wolves should have been out east for a while. I mean, they're just so much closer to all those teams out there. They should be playing with the Bucks. They should be playing with the Bulls. The Pels should be playing with those with the Heat and all that. So the Magic, but that probably makes a lot more sense. But
You
all
want
right,
me? Are you ready? Are we ready to go here? Are you ready to? I'm gonna give you the first pick. I'm gonna be generous and give you the number one pick. We're gonna pick seven. We're gonna pick seven players each. So we're gonna get essentially a starting five. We want to call it a starting five. We just say the five best, and then we're gonna have our role players after that. But we're gonna each pick seven players. We'll go back and forth. It's only the two of us, so we'll go your pick, my pick, and so on. Yeah, that sound good.
yeah, yeah. Do
All
do
right,
I
hit
do
me
we each
first.
get a minute on the board?
I'll give you a minute. You got you. Your minute starts right
Okay,
now. You won't need it.
okay.
I hope you won't need it for your first pick though.
No, I won't. I might need 30 seconds. It's tough.
Are you reaching? Or are you going safe? That's the other big question here. Oh, we got there. We go. List up. Let's get going here.
I am going with Dyson Daniels,
Boom. All
first
right.
pick.
That's definitely. I'm gonna say that's a bit of a reach there. I know you're a big Dyson Daniels guy, but that's a
Let
slight
me
bit of
let
a
me
reach.
justify it for 2 seconds. You want to have a guy that can play both ends of the floor and do it. I mean, he's going to play defense at a elite level, and you don't get that in a lot of guards. He's got elite size, and the shooting will come, and playmaking. How many guys are you gonna get out of this list that could lead an offense and play elite defense on both ends? That's something you're not going to see out of most of these guys once you're protecting the top six of every 30 teams, all 30 teams.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's fair. I'm going to be a little bit quicker with my first pick. I'm going to go safest houses for my first pick, and I am going to take Chris Paul, a great guy. You might only
Oh
have a
no!
year or two left of him, but
I
what a
completely
guy to
forgot about Chris Paul.
have around your team to start things off. And I'm sure he'd love it out in Vegas, and Vegas would love him too. But I think that's just such a safe pick. Great guy to have around. He's gonna help improve some of the younger guys that I'm gonna start reaching for now. I think he's just a definitely safe, nice pick to start off.
Chris Paul. That I knew there was going to be one name that, like, as I spent so much time thinking about it, like, would I would just completely forget it. So you slipped that in there because he's on the Warriors now. I'm
Yeah, man.
sure I'm not alone. Oh man, that's tough. Okay, so my second pick, I'm going Buddy Hield.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I was hoping you might forget about him, but that's yeah.
Yeah.
I like that pick. How can you not like an elite shooter this modern league? I think the experience that he's got. I think that's a no brainer of a pick. I really like that. I'm gonna reach just a little bit and go for a guy that I was super high on coming out of the draft. He has yet to deliver, but he is still young, and I think he could thrive. Hopefully, thrive playing with Chris Paul guiding him. And I'm gonna go with Killian Hayes, the Detroit Pistons. Killian Hayes. I'm gonna take him because he's a guy I still believe could be a lead point guard for a team in the NBA.
So I have this little list, this short list on my draft board here. Gambles question mark and Killian Hayes is on there. Um, Yeah, that is a guy who I hope one day figures it out because the defensive tools are there. All the potential was there. Looking at him before the draft, but yeah, hasn't worked out. I'm going to go my third pick. This one is tough, but I'm going to go with Harrison Barnes.
Okay, okay, another vet. I like it. Hard to not like it when you saw what he's done for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, it's tough because you put all these young players in front of me, and you know me, my instinct is like, oh, I'm gonna draft like the next fill in the blank, the next. But you have an expansion team. You got to put butts in seats. You got to be competitive. You got to sell tickets, and you got to put together a competitive team. And I think I got to stick with players that I know are gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's definitely fair, and I think I'm gonna come back at you and draft myself my own sharpshooter, and I'm gonna take Joe Harris.
Joe
Got
Harris. Oh
gotta
man,
have a
yeah,
serious
yeah.
3-point shooter in your team, and I think he definitely fits that mold. And he gets back healthy this year, he's gonna be looked at as one of the prime 3-point shooters in the entire NBA. I think he's a guy I need on my team, especially playing alongside a guy like Killian Hayes.
That's a really good one. Oh, that's tough. Hmm. Now, when you're building this team out, I think this would be an interesting thing of how a expansion draft would be so much fun for fans if it was happening in real time, as opposed to like I think it would be great if they did it in real time as opposed to if they just announced it and then teams did it in private. Because in reality, like the decision making tree of like your actual rotation instead of just a random player who not a random player, but when you're drafting a rookie, it's like, okay, we got a whole team already. We'll see what he does 5 years from now. It's like, no, this is a team we're going to play with in 3 months or whatever. But looking at having a playmaker, a shooter, a two-way forward, guy who's going to space the floor a bit, good rebound. I feel like I do need to invest in a big at this point. It's not all just about best player available. And I'm gonna go with Onyeka Okongwu.
Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting pick now.
I think he's a guy on the Hawks who hasn't had enough playing time next to Clint Capella. You've seen what he can do. Oh, you were so close with that spelling.
What did I miss?
The U's and O. But dude, I'm surprised you came that close. To be honest, like, it's pretty good. Not bad.
Where's my O?
Okongwu,
Oh,
not
you not
Okong. Yeah.
there. Okay, well, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was close enough.
But
Not the
I'm pretty
easiest
happy
ones.
to have him as my starting big. You've seen the flashes he has defending guys like Giannis, defending bigs in the post, and being a rim runner, being a vertical threat, lob threat. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I'm gonna come at you with another kind of hybrid big, kind of a big, kind of not a big, and take a guy we mentioned when we were talking about the protections, and take Precious Achua. I think he's a guy
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring into my team. Like you said, there's still that bit of potential there. Whether it comes to fruition or not still remains to be seen. But he's definitely shown enough that he's definitely worth taking a shot with, and worth kind of having as part of probably the starting lineup here. I think he's definitely a very interesting piece moving forward, and a guy that definitely has. Oh, well, we spelled that wrong now. Where are we going? Oh
You
yeah,
should have practiced your spelling a little bit before we did this. Before you have live typing on the screen. There's a lot of
there
pressure.
we go.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's close. It kind of looks like it anyway.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
we'll play with it. But yeah, I like that pick. I think he's a good. Maybe he wouldn't be able to be your starting big just size wise, but I think
Yeah.
he's definitely a guy that can play as a small five and definitely be a good player on the team.
Yeah. Chris Paul definitely needs bigs to pick and pop with to operate in the pick and roll. Precious still needs to work a little bit on the rolling aspect of it, but as a pick and pop big, I think that's definitely a lot of potential there. So I got my big, got my forward, I got my starting guard. Now I need a wing. I need a good wing. It's gonna play both ends. It's gonna be able to shoot as well. So I love this idea of surrounding Dyson Daniels with shooters. A nice rolling big. I think I gotta go with Moses Moody. I'm
Okay.
stuck between Moses Moody and another guy on the Hawks. But Moses Moody's my guy. I think when he's gotten time with the Warriors, I mean he's shown a lot, both ends of the floor, also being aggressive, getting the paint. I think he's a guy also that could pop if he got more potential, more playing time, which is why you leaving him off with Jonathan Kuminga. I think half of the fan base would be like, oh, good, I love Jonathan Kuminga. The other half would be screaming upset that they are not protecting this guy because I think he could be very good.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think it's definitely that's one that's going to be a tough call if the Warriors were forced to make it. But likely when this does actually come around, they might have easier decisions to make with some of their older guys. Might just be beyond it at that stage, and they won't be looking to protect them. Maybe I'm gonna steal your other Atlanta guy right now. Maybe not. I'm not too sure, but this is a guy I believe has a lot more to give, and we didn't get to see a whole bunch of it last year, but I think the potential is real, and I'm going to take AJ Griffin.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
He's a
had some
guy
impressive shooting performances last year, man.
he did for sure, and I really liked what I saw of him in college. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think definitely untapped potential there. And I hope we're going to get to see a lot more of him this year and a lot more consistency at him. I believe he's a guy I believe in for the future, and I think I'm gonna take him out there in Las Vegas and let him see what he can do.
AJ Griffin, Joe Harris. Those are, I mean, those are lights out shooters right there. Two lights out shooters. Now if anyone can get in the paint, I don't know if Chris Paul can still probe the paint like he used to. I don't know. Now I gotta go with another forward here. Gotta go with another forward. And this one is a little bit tough. A little tough. But I am I going to go with a young guy or am I going to go with an older guy? This is probably going to be the tough decision making of a team that again is trying to be competitive now and not think too far into the future because you got to get off to a good start just in terms of building your market. And I think that everywhere this guy has gone, he's been a fan favorite based on his effort and all the things he does defensively on the boards, even playmaking a little bit. So I'm going to take Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah, damn you! I wanted to sneak him in there. I think that's a
Okay, let's go.
great shot.
I knew I was going to steal one of yours.
That's good. That's good.
So Jared Vanderbilt, I mean, you can play him at the five at times. You can play him at the four. You could play him in pick and roll. You can pass a little bit. But most importantly, like he can switch onto everything. He can play defense on whoever you want him to. You can throw him on Steph Curry at times, and it's just crazy what he can do on that end of the floor. So be excited to have him and pair him defensively along with Dyson Daniels. Those two guys would definitely cause a lot of havoc out there.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good pick. It's good fit as well. I think I've got to take a legit big and one who's never going to be a star, but always is going to be solid and get the job done. And that's I'm going to go with Maxi Kleber there in the sixth
Oh,
spot.
nice.
I'm going to take Maxi. I think just solid player. Never going to do anything amazing, but definitely capable of starting. Definitely capable of spreading the floor, and a more than capable big in the modern NBA.
The shining praise of Ronan Gain. Never gonna do anything amazing, but just solid. I do like Maxi Kleber. I mean, defensively, I will give Maxi a shout out though for what he does defensively. Great drop defender and capable at times switch defender. Maybe not as much as Jason Kidd wants him to do it, but just any kind of big that can shoot the way that he does and the versatility he has on defense. I mean that's a guy that you'd want. Any concerns about your team with your last pick? I'm a little concerned you don't have a guy that can really roll to the rim with Chris Paul. Chris, I don't know. I
I
don't know how this is
do.
gonna work out
I
here.
think that's fair. I might have to find that in the draft that year with my team because I don't think my last pick is going to be the guy that's going to change that either.
And that is true. We're only doing seven players, and I'm sure they would pick the full 12. I you gotta have to with the last pick, you really gotta just take a swing and you gotta like think big and you gotta think about, you know, most potential, right? I'm gonna swing for the fences here. This would be the reclamation project of a generation. I want Ben Simmons
I knew it. I knew you were going to get Ben Simmons.
I want Ben Simmons to come to Seattle, and I want him to figure it out. And I envision a team that is not going to be able to shoot very well, but just the defensive potential of Ben Simmons, Jared Vanderbilt, and Dyson Daniels all on the same team. That's a team that's going to play tough. That's a team that's going to play fast out on the open floor, especially with Okongwu, with shooters like Moody and Heald, guys like Barnes. I think Simmons has a chance with a team like this to be the guy that he's meant to be the focal point of an offense and really facilitate. And he can do that alongside Dyson Daniels. Yes, Dyson Daniels can develop his shot. I think that defensively this could be a top 5 defense I just put together here on the whim.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I think that the potential is definitely there. I'm a little bit disappointed that you didn't take Kenny Lofton Jr. in your team. Now I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm signing him to a 2-way immediately after that. I'm signing him to a 2-way if that's allowed. If there's a 2-way contracts, I'm allowed to steal from other teams.
I'm tempted to reach with my last pick, but I think I'm going to go. I'm torn between a couple of guys that we mentioned when we were talking about the top 6 for each team, and that could possibly get in could possibly sneak in. But I think I'm going to take my boy out from New York. I'm going to take Quentin Grimes. He's a guy,
nice.
He's a guy I really like. I think there's definitely a lot more to come from him, and I think he could be a nice fit within my already fairly guard heavy team. But I think he could still find a way to have a positive impact, especially if we're looking at Chris Paul's not playing as much minutes as he has done over the last few years. I think he could be a nice fit, especially alongside Killian Hayes. I like that the little combo there.
Yeah, defensively, Hayes and Grimes. I mean that's a great
another
combination there. Yeah.
One day I'll learn how to spell all these names. Where am I going?
We gotta, guys, to give him a break. This is the first time we've had to type in public. I don't know if I've ever had to type in public. That's tough.
The pressure's on there. You have to get these names right, and it's just I should have been better prepared, but it's hard to prepare when I don't know the names that are going to come up.
But the defensive combination there: Killian Hayes, Quentin Grimes. Killian can figure it out offensively. Grimes has already showed that he's really growing to be a catch and shoot guy and really makes quick decisions. I mean, he'd fit in there seamlessly. I was stuck between Grimes and Moody. I think I believe in Moody's potential a little bit more. I think I know what Quentin Grimes is going to become. He's going to become a really good 2-way player, great defensive guy, great shooter. But I think Moses Moody could become more. I think Moses Moody could with his size and with his ability to get to the basket, which surprises me at times. I think I had to choose him over him.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Whose team's taking it? What are we thinking?
Your team's tiny. Chris Paul is going to get destroyed by Dyson Daniels. Your shooting, though, the shooting's tough. And Precious versus Okongwu, I don't think you have a rim protector.
Yeah, I'm relying heavily on Maxi Kleber to kind of fill that role, which isn't great.
How's that going in Dallas, dude?
Yeah, my big man scope was not doing too well here, but yeah, I think it'd be an interesting battle now if these two teams went head to head. I think the shooting that I've got versus the defense and size that you've got, I think it'd be a close game. I think that'll be fun. You see that over a 7-game series? I think we'd have some fun there.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do a 2K sim and we'll see who wins a 7-game series. You put out your top 5. And then I'll put out my top 5 and see what happens.
Easy. The Las Vegas has it. That's where it's at. Come on, we know we got this.